Back, Frederic Francois of France will lead us away. And by my maths, I think there are 27 competitors taking part in this sitting event. There you go. And Hjoen for Holmgrimsson of Iceland will be the final name across the line. Enrique Prante of Argentina also taking part as well. Danilo Rossi of Italy will have the home interest. Frederic Francois there in the centre of your shot. Rather blocked by a wooden pole, but that's a start gate mechanism. So, Francois, who raced yesterday as well, a silver medalist in 2015. So we're going to get underway here with someone that fancies themselves to take a medal away from Tarvisio. Here comes Francois then. 2 medals in 2015, this event being one of those, the silver. 5th place in Sochi. They want to head towards Pyeongchang in better form than that. Points the way. Francois through the first intermediate time check at 20:39. It's a bumpy old ride on those monoskis. Francois paving the way for the rest of the field. What will his time be? Doesn't want those dreaded 3 letters after his name on the scoreboard, so into the final right-hander he comes then. Get himself straight. Igor Sikorski of Poland is next. Sikorski, 26 years of age. It's his 3rd World Championship appearance. The first time he's taken on the Super G course in a World Championships. He's behind Francois at the first intermediate by over half a second. Into this tricky left-hander. Got to stay nice and tight. You've seen a lot of people drifting off to the left-hand side of the screen, to their right, over the blue line and into the softer snow. .107.96, just .22 the difference. He actually closed the gap in the final part. Now Tyler Walker of the United States of America, 30-year-old from New Hampshire. That big fall in Sochi. Walker finished 14th, 12th and 16th in his 3 runs out at Super G at World Championship level. This is 6th World Championships. Loves the adrenaline of the sport. first intermediate. He's dropped behind in the second, but we saw Sikorsky pick up pace in the final part of this. Can Walker do the same? No, 108.19. Just lost the pace towards the back end. And away we go then with Johan Taberle. Taberle, bib number 61. Frenchman, 35, lives in Morzine. Silver in 2030 and then dropped back as far as 13th position in 2015. He went into Sochi with that world silver medal and managed to get a DNF. So a big disappointment for him out there in Russia. He was 0.15 back at the first intermediate, because again we've seen a couple of these guys have been quicker over the second section. Oh, and he's down. Taberle just loses the left edge. It just goes from underneath him. And the monoski can be unforgiving. Taberle trying to get himself vertical, which is a good sign that he's fine. Pride would have taken a hit. That's a fact. So next up is Kenji Natsumi of Japan, number 62 on his bib, the 43-year-old who lives in Nagano. Hit a bump hard there. He did well to keep himself on the straight and narrow. But 43-year-old, 30-odd seconds back at the first intermediate. 10th in 2015. Really trying to hug a tight line and get close to the gates with his shoulders. You feel it's not fast enough for a medal contention. 126 down now at the second intermediate. And into the final bend he comes then, pointing towards this Tarvisio crowd at the bottom of the slope, and crosses the line and comes to a slippery, slidey finish, but managed to pick up another place and go back to fourth. So Natsumi followed by compatriot Daiki Mori. Mori, 63 on his bib, the silver medalist from Sochi. Daiki Mori aiming towards the medals. That's what he'll want. Francois continues to lead, 107.74 for him. Mori controlling that left-hander nicely. He was ahead. And he stays there, 106.63, 111 in front of Francois. Well, that's his name in the hat for a medal then. George Kreiter of Germany. "31-year-old, a DNF in Sochi. That's the tricky right-hander done with. Mori's new time, 106.63. He's what Kreiter needs to come somewhere near. 2 golds in the super combined and the giant slalom. In previous events, he was 6th in this in 2015. He was 2nd at the intermediate. Into this left-hander. Oh, he's hit a bobble here. Not many people are that close to the flag on the right-hand side of your shot, the blue flag, and Kleiter out of vision and all over the shop. He's managing just about to hold it together, very wide at the last left. Through the gate he comes, 107.31. Enough to put himself on the podium for now. Bamba, 2 seconds back at the first intermediate here. Used to compete for Serbia in the former Yugoslavia. That's been Bamba, but he's very much American. Been there many years now. He actually became the first Serbian ever to compete at a Winter Paralympics. When he did so in Vancouver. Sliding around that left-hander, just having to correct it a little, and again here, really having to dig the edge of the ski in to maneuver, and well, he'll come over the line in 7th position. Jasmine Bamba, one of 5 Americans taking part in this event. Japan have 4. The Netherlands have 3. A couple have so far, SALCHER, BOCHET. Can KURKA add his name to the growing list of double golds here in Tarvisio? He was outside at the first intermediate, so he's got work to do if he wants to do this. To pick up both speed titles, he's actually going to have to pick up his own speed. It's as simple as that. He has done as well, you know. Well inside a second up on Mori through the middle section. This is where he really can build on it. KURKA through the final few gates, straightens up, aims towards the line, and the time will be, well, it'll be quick. 105.08, 155 quicker than Mori. Wow, KURKA really putting in a show-stopping performance there. Now, Christoph KUNZ of Switzerland. Gold medal winner at the slalom in Sochi. His previous 3 World Championship visits to a Super G course have given him an 8th, a 7th, and a 6th. And KUNZ is down at the first of our time checks. 34-year-old circuit so far this season. Can he turn? Left-hander. He can. He was inside KURKA's time at the last time check. How much more has KUNZ got as he turns into this final bend? Now down towards the line. KUNZ looking for a medal. What will it be? 104.35. Christoph KUNZ with a humdinger of a time. 104.35. 0.73 inside KURKA. And here comes Joshua Elliott. They're thick and fast here. But KUNZ has put himself at the top of the pile. Now, this is the 35-year-old who lives in San Diego with his wife Samantha, and took up mono skiing in 2011. He was a DNF in 2015. So going better than that always has to be the aim. Getting to the line sometimes could be the hardest challenge, never mind the speed. Still reeling from that time from Christoph KUNZ. superb ski through that middle section. Elliot well outside of the medal times, but he will indeed make the line, unlike 2015. On 10.82 for him. Next up out of the gates is Akira Kano. We saw Kano in action yesterday, the 30-year-old from Abashiri, gold medal winner in Sochi. If there's one man that would like to affect the top of this leaderboard, it is this man in the center of your screen right now. And he sends his monoski hurtling towards the finishing line. He's already inside at the first interval. The first time check puts Kano quick. Bronze in 2013, a fifth place finish in 2015 on the back of that gold in Sochi. Disappointed him greatly. Into the left-hander towards the end then. And it's slow. Kano needs to find something in these final few turns. Not sure he's going to. He's outside of gold, silver, and he's got bronze at the moment. 106.59. He dug deep towards the end. He was down as far as fifth at one of the time checks. Now Corey Peters. New Zealander from New Plymouth, the reigning champion. Sixth in Sochi, won the downhill and the Super G at the last World Championships. Things you find out about these guys. He's inside the time again at the first intermediate. But then he's down at the second. This is the tricky part. Just getting speed in this final section to take you to the line. Corey Peters, what can he find over these final few meters? 105 exactly. Takes him second and he shouts up towards the sky. I'm yet to know if that's a happiness at a medal or a disappointment at not getting gold. Roman Rabel hit the deck yesterday in his run. He was a real contender for a medal as well. The Austrian, the 25-year-old, came fourth in 2015. Picked up a downhill medal in 2015, fell yesterday. And we await Roman Rabel. Here he comes. Sometimes worry when you get a long pause. So Rabel, despite hitting the deck yesterday, stays on his monoski today. He's fairly quick in the opening section. Needs to maintain it. It's been the second part of the course that's been the deciding factor, and he's dropping. Down as far as 8th position here. Final right-hander over the hill and into my view. Out of the window he comes. Rabel crossing the line in 106.8. 1 second and a fair bit outside of KURKA's bronze medal time at the moment. Now, Jesper Pedersen, the Norwegian, 17 years of age, 8th in the downhill yesterday. Time. Pedersen from Bergen also competes at club level in para athletics as well. Held his arms aloft yesterday after crossing the line. He's obviously got his own goals he wants to achieve in terms of times and positions, and Pedersen crossing the line in 107.24. That puts him in 7th position, the 17-year-old, so that's fairly respectable with not that many left to come. So, Takeshi Suzuki of Japan now. A slalom world and Paralympic champion, the 28-year-old from Fukushima. Comes over the brow of that shot. Somewhat off the pace in the opening section. Will be focused, I'm sure, on the last day's competition. That slalom event, Will Suzuki. Down towards the finish. It starts to come. Suzuki will cross the line well outside of the medal positions, but his time will be 109.70. Sticks out the tongue. Sawyer, Australia, should be next up. The 38-year-old from Melbourne. Two DNFs in his first World Championships. Sawyer navigating his way down this Tarvisio piste. Onto the final right-hander before straightening up and tucking in as much as he can. And Sawyer crosses the line in 109.68. Niels de Langen should be up next, and that's exactly who we've got, the 18-year-old from Arnhem. Know a great deal about Niels de Langen. World Championship debutant. Fair to middling at the moment. He's ranked 10th at the first intermediate, so no shame in that. Far more experienced skiers have gone before him. So Niels de Langen just dropping to 13th at the final time check as he comes into view for the crowd. A few screams of support as de Langen brings himself to a halt. I'm going to take that as a smile. Might not have been. Floris Meyer, another of the Dutch contingent. A DNF yesterday in the downhill. 27 years of age from Hilversum. He's a little bit slower than de Langen through the first section. Nice and tight to those three gates. There's only a slight variation in their direction and for all three of those gates in that part there. So it's all about trying to be as quick as you can, and then into this left-hander that's proved very tricky for both sitting, standing and the VI categories. And it's just about how you enter this final section of the course into the finishing pitch. The line in orange is crossed. And the team wearing the orange have had 2 of their 3 down the slope, and it's that's respectable, you know, for Meyer. 107.80. Now, Stephen Lawler, the American from Burlington, came up with a DNF yesterday, just a little bit too keen in the downhill. Just getting it wrong. Ended up on his side. I mentioned yesterday that his father was a rally driver. So I'm sure Stephen, growing up, saw the need for speed as much as his father did, and he's getting it here on the mono ski. As Lawler tucks into the left and then right, that brings him towards home. He was down in 15th at the last. Picks up a place, moving into 14th as it stands. Danilo Rossi, the Italian, with bib number 78. One of 2 Italians scheduled down, and Rossi has lost BOCHET, or Bossan, should I say, earlier on. And again, we hope for good reports from the crash here. You see Rossi coming in over the hill, and you lost it on the jump, and if you don't land square and already angled into that right-hander, you're in trouble, and that's exactly what Rossi has come across. So we'll bring you some more information when we can on Danilo Rossi, but he leaves the course in a similar vein to Bossan a little bit earlier on. So again, this is the coverage of the World Para-Alpine Skiing Championships here in Tarvisio in Italy. Remember, tomorrow, don't tune in tomorrow. You can go to work or go to college or school or whatever it is you're meant to be doing tomorrow. Don't just sit in front of your computer watching this. Don't just put it on the TV and think, I'll sit here all day. It's not happening. It's a training day tomorrow. Competition will resume on Saturday. Training again on the Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. The final 2 days of competition. Finishing off with the slalom. So tomorrow, have a lie-in, have a rest, do whatever it is you're meant to be doing. If you want to get in touch with us, do so via social media. Use the hashtag Tarvisio2017. That's the hashtag Tarvisio2017 in any language. I really don't care. We can figure it out. Send us a message to the hashtag Tarvisio2017. And if we get some really good ones, we'll try and read them out as we go along. My internet is a little bit ropey here in this little cabin I've got, but we get there in the end. And all the information you need, by the way, www.paralympic.org/alpine-skiing. If you want any more information on World Para Skiing, that's the place to go to. The Paralympic website is good for all para sports, of course. You can follow us as well on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Para Alpine is what you need.
Jön le Valgarten ca să gondole unul tapăl.
So a quick look back at some of the action from earlier on in the sitting competition. The runs so far, Christoph KUNZ, look out for bib number 67 in these highlights. He is sitting pretty at the top of the leaderboard at the moment. A fabulous run from him in 104. 35. In fact, that is KUNZ on your screen at the moment, so he beats the ground afterwards, but he's top.
Our last one. There's a nice one. Yeah. 78 is each of the neck. Yeah. The Italian?
Just see the team up on the mountain, just tending to he was involved in a paragliding accident in 2006, so he's been competing for a few years now. Recovery process of that, and well, he's recovered from his little trip into the V-netting as well, and the guys up on that section of the slope must be thinking, why us again? That's exactly the same area that we lost out a little bit earlier on as well, and Jourdain Brossin went hurtling through. So here's the current standings of the men's Super G sitting event. Josh Elliott some 6.5 seconds back from the leading pace setters. The snow is not really falling at any real great knots at the moment. It's just specks in the air as it stands. So Corey Peters, silver, Andrew KURKA, bronze. Christoph KUNZ, though, leads the way. Alessandro Verotto of Italy is still to come. So too is Iceland's Johan Thor Holmgrimsson. Austria's Markus Kvarthofer from Salzburg is still to come as well. Enrique Plante of Argentina is left on the list. So still a few to come, and just coming down to the bottom of the slope on your right hand side of your screen, that is Danilo Rossi. So the 39-year-old is okay. He'll talk it through with the team, the coaching staff. And, well, it was nice and simple. He left the snow and didn't land it how he should have done. He'll know that better than anyone as the debate goes on behind the scenes. The work team have moved away, so that would suggest we are not far away from getting back underway here in Tarvisio. We've also got Pavel Bumbusek of the Czech Republic to come. So kids finding time to make a few snowballs. Once again, if you're just tuning in, we've a slight delay in our final event of this second day. Repairs have been made to the V-netting, and I'm being told we're about a minute or so away from getting started again in this competition. So in fact, we are underway. Yeah, Jeroen Kamschur of the Netherlands, fifth yesterday in the downhill. It's a debut major event for him. So maybe that fifth is giving us a sign that there's another up-and-comer from the Netherlands. Also just 17, Niels de Langen, 18. He's fairly quick here. Is Kamschur. He's from Hilversum, the Netherlands. Kamschur moving along nicely here. 104.35 the time to beat. Might not be around that, but he would love to be pushing on the door of a medal, perhaps. Coming up towards the second intermediate time. I'll try and give you a time check on that. He's dropped off the pace. He struggled in that middle section as he comes down towards the line. He's going to be in the 108s, 109s maybe, 108 late. So 108.59 the official time, ending up in 13th. He was struggled on an early fall here. An early fall in our next run. That was Gratterhofer of Austria takes the tumble. The man from Salzburg just went over a bump. The bottom right edge gave way, and he slides harmlessly into some of the V-netting, but that might offer us another slight delay here. I'm not sure. He's just being helped out of the netting. Seems okay at the moment. Tangled within the netting itself for now. The Austrian just flicks his hand in disgust towards the course and, well, disappointed with himself. I'm not sure that it was Grafthoffer. I think that's I actually think that's Verotto. It was meant to be bib number 80, but I think that's bib 81. In fact, it is. So apologies for that. was indeed Alessandro Verotto. So both the Italians hitting the side. And, we'll wait and see who the next out of the gate is then. But,
Okay, are you going down? You bought it? Yeah, he was just going to borrow it when he comes down after the set to combine.
at the moment, any repairs that needed doing have been done. Long trudge back up the hill to their safety positions with the marshals. I can tell you the wind has picked up a little. Not going to sit in the big frozen trees at the top there, but certainly down here at the foot of the run, it's wobbling a few things around, not bothering these guys at all. Texting and tweeting away, I'm sure. Kids at the foot of it all, enjoying themselves. And we're nearly ready to get back underway. Should be Pavel Bambusek. Is indeed who it appears to be. So Bambusek, the 32-year-old from Prague, cutting through the slope as he starts his journey down. So the first 20 seconds without problem so far for the Czech skier. The debut major. Oh, and he's come unstuck as well. So Bambusek's journey is a short one. It just came out of nowhere. Got it all sideways, hit the bump, hit the deck, and well, there was a little change in the surface at that part of the course, and it's caught a few out. And Bambusek is indeed one of those. Starting quite a gathering in that bottom section. Bambusek is a DNF now. Enrique Plante of Argentina. He's 34. Competed in the slalom in Sochi. The Argentine skier. Look to put in a decent performance here. Now he starts to approach the area that's caused a few issues, and he's got through it rather nicely as Plante, so it can be done, you see. Some way back time-wise. Plante, again, one of those that will have his own goals he'll want to achieve here in Tarvisio. Plante's time first interval was some 7:28 back from the time of KUNZ, and that will slip further still. He's the tough left-hander, but I don't think he's producing anywhere near the speed to give him an issue. He's dropped another 10 seconds off the pace, so coming into his final right-hand turn of his World Championship bout here on day 2, and Enrique Plante crosses the line in a time that looks to be 1:28.08. Plante finished, and we head towards our final competitor as well. This is Johan Thor Holmgrimsson. Holmgrimsson, 24 years of age. He's the first male Icelandic skier to represent his country at a Winter Paralympics. So, big honour for Holmgrimsson. Iceland have their hopes on him as he crosses a line in a respectable 1:15.65. But it's KUNZ's run a little bit earlier on. He went past KURKA's time. Peters couldn't catch him. 2 Japanese skiers just missing out. It's been a day full of action, a few spills as well, it has to be said. But day 2 here at Tarvisio is just about done. We'll be back with you in a little while with the medal ceremonies, but let's have a quick catch up on the results then. Christoph, KUNZ, Corey Peters and Andrew KURKA will make their way onto the podium in a little while. It's tough luck for Akira Kano, finishing in behind. Once again, day 2 of the World Alpine Skiing Championships here in Tarvisio in Italy. And the action itself has concluded. We will have the medal ceremonies for you in a little while. Once again, for all the information you need to know, www.paralympic.org.